Hey, buddy, it's your old pal Scott, and this is Let's Talk Tabletop. This week, I wanted to discuss something that we've all been through at one time or another. You're playing a game, you're trying to have fun, and the writing's on the wall. You are not going to win this game. Now, some people don't really care about losing, but other people seriously have a problem with this. So let's dive into a couple tips you can do so that you don't get so angry when you are losing your game and there's nothing you can do about it. Let's dive in. What brought this up a couple weeks ago was a new player of ours gets kind of upset when he's rolling badly or things are not going his way, and I had to, as the person that kind of runs the club, I had to kind of take him aside and say, "Hey, like, don't take it so seriously. It's just a game, right?" And a good way to deal with this is number one, doing narrative missions. Obviously, if you're trying to play a tournament, there's no real narrative to that, and you're just going to get mad because you're not winning, right? That's very easy, even for the most casual person to do. Your rolls are not doing well, and you're trying your very hardest. But the first thing you can do is play narrative games or have a narrative attitude towards it, okay? Because there are countless stories of warfare in real life where people are at impossible odds and they're going to die and there's nothing they can do about it, so they can just try to make the best of that situation. And that you can take inspiration from any of those stories. There's countless stories of that in history. So a narrative mindset is actually going to help prevent the early stages of getting mad because you're not winning, because then that will make winning not so important to you anymore. Another thing that you can keep in mind is that if you're playing casually, you should be thinking about it as a narrative, and you can then move the goalposts so that, yes, you are definitely losing. No amount of strategizing, no amount of good rolling is going to get you out of this pickle. Your guys on the battlefield are going to lose, okay? Just accept that. Okay, now that we've accepted that, let's find something fun to do. So, the best thing to do is to move the goalpost and decide a new victory condition for yourself, knowing that you're not going to actually win the initial victory condition. So, oftentimes I'll say, okay, I'm going to pick one unit, and that unit of mine, I'm going to try my very hardest to have them survive the rest of this game. And the reason for that is because narratively, they have to return back and report back to their upper ups and tell them how the battle went. And maybe the foes that they faced, they didn't know who they were going to face or whatever. So picking one unit that you want to survive the rest of the game then makes it a different game for you. Now all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, I'm going to try to hide them. I'm going to try to make them run away. I'm going to try to do whatever else. And yes, the other people, my other units are still going to die. But now the new thing is, okay, I got to save this unit. So all my other units, your opponent might even be like, why is he going away from objectives? It doesn't matter now. You've already won the game. So what I'm going to do is play my own game. And I'm going to focus all of my efforts on defending this one unit now. And that's actually pretty darn fun, actually. The third tip is to do the exact opposite. Make a moral victory for yourself and say, okay, I'm going to choose an objective or choose an enemy unit on the battlefield that I want to either capture the objective or I want to kill that enemy unit. I want them dead by the end of the game. So you do that, and now you've got a target. You might go, hey, listen, we're going to lose this battle, but the upper ups want us to kill this unit. We want to make sure that their leader is dead, or whatever you choose it to be. You make it something that's relatively feasible, not something like a unit with one wound left. Oh, I killed it, yay. No, don't do that. But if it's within, 12 or 18 inches of you, and it's somewhat feasible, then make the game about that now. Your opponent can still beat you. They can still go after the objectives. They can do whatever they want because it doesn't matter. They've already won. You've already came to that conclusion. So a really good thing to do is choose a target or an objective that you absolutely want to control or kill by the end of the game. That's number 3. Number 4 is just separating yourself, which slightly goes hand in hand with narratives, but look at it as a battlefield in a movie. These aren't your orcs. They are a band of orcs led by whoever your leader is. And they might be wiped off the board. But how many stories and how many history lessons are there where people do get wiped out to the man? There's a lesson to be learned there. So you go, oh my gosh, I wonder how they're going to get out of this. Can they get out of it? Can they survive? Or can I target a unit? Or I really want this one objective or whatever. And you're pulling yourself away from it. It is no longer you versus your opponent. It is your force versus their force. And if you fail that really important charge roll, you can just laugh about it and go, oh my gosh, they're having, not me, they are having a really rough day today, and you can laugh about that. It's been a long time since I developed these solutions to this because I'm no longer a competitive player. When I first got into Warhammer about 15 years ago and wargaming in general, I was quite competitive. And I wouldn't be like a little jerk if I lost, but I would beat myself up over it. I'm like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. And it meant a lot more to me. But over time, I realized that it was giving me stress for no reason. And really, if you lose or you win, whatever. If you have a much more casual and blasé attitude towards it, then it's not so stressful. And you can enjoy yourself and you can eat your snack or talk to your friends or whatever. And you're like, oh, crap. Oh, well, they died this week. Well, I'll come back next week. And there's no stress or anything on you whatsoever. No anxiety. So coming from someone who used to be very competitive over a decade ago, just chill out, man. It's just a game. Hopefully you're having fun. And another big thing about taking it too seriously is you end up being a bad opponent. And you really, above all else, you don't want to be a bad opponent. There's plenty of people out there that are not aware enough, self-aware enough, that they are a bad opponent. They don't know. So if you are self-aware enough to realize that you might be kind of salty right now, you might be a little too serious about this game and you're making it not fun for them, then you need to take that opportunity to fix yourself. Like I said, it's just a game and we should be making friends and having fun with it. So if you have any other tips, now this is what I'd like to hear. Does anybody have any other tips besides what I mentioned for just making sure that you're just chill with your game and you can actually win at losing? Thank you to all of my beautiful, sexy, good-smelling Patreon patrons for supporting my show. I greatly appreciate it. And what's this? We've got a new Patreon patron. It's Jordan! Yay! Thank you so much, Jordan, for joining our Patreon, just like Davich did the other week. And thank you to everyone who supported me along the way. I greatly appreciate it. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Please like, share, subscribe, etc., etc. You know the deal. Ring the bell or whatever that... I don't even know what that is, but do that too. Please do that too. And I will see you next week for some casual and relaxed wargaming.